Welcome to another episode of Python Beyond Basics. In the last video, we covered list. If you didn't see that, click here to watch that because today we are going to cover tuples, which are very similar to list. And if you know that, welcome aboard. Now, tuples are very similar to list, right? They are ordered like list, they allow duplicates, but these are immutable. Okay, these are immutables, which means we cannot change its value. Okay, so let's see that in action. Okay, so we can initialize a tuple like my details equals, like we have to give parenthesis, like in list we used to give square brackets. Here we have to give parenthesis, right? So I'll just give my name Arpan, age, and let's give a branch. Okay, now that's a list. Let's print that's a tuple. Let's print that, and I should be able to print. Yeah, so it's tuple. Now there are other ways to declare a tuple, like we don't have to give the parenthesis, and that will also be considered as tuple. Also, we can declare a tuple from a list or other iterable, like we can pass have a tuple function, and inside that we can pass a list, and that also will be a tuple. Okay, amazing. Now if I would want to change one of its value, like 1, let's say this one, to 21, I won't be able to do that, and I need not to print also because I won't be able to do that. This is giving me an error already. Does not support item assignment, right? And even if I try to do that, I will get an error, type error, tuple object does not support item assignment. But we can do something like converting it to list, like my details, or sorry, my list, then convert list to my details to list, and then let's say my list to 1 to 21, then I can just convert my details to, and I can do something like list, my list, I can pass my list, and my details to would work just fine. Yeah, it's 21. Awesome. Now obviously we can since these are ordered like list, so like list we can index them, right? So indexing basically means like my details, and we can give 0 for the first element, and we can assign that to an item variable, and we can print that item variable down here, and this should give us the first element, which is Arpan, and if we pass 1, this should give us the second element. And like in list, we can have negative indexes as well, which will basically give us the last element -1, and then -2 will give us the second last element, and so on. Now we can use in operator like in list to iterate over a tuple as well, like for I in my details, and let's just print all the elements, right? But obviously you can do many more things than that, and yeah, it'll go ahead, iterate over the tuples and tuple, and print out every element. Now we can also check if an element exists in my tuple, my details, and if that does, we'll just print yes, and if it doesn't, else we'll just print no, like we did in lists. Again, if you haven't watched list, please watch it. Okay, now Arpan does exist, so it will have like, but if I say like Arpan codes, let's do codes. Okay, this should give us no, because open quotes does not exist in my tuple, but let's add it because I like it. Okay, now it should have yes, yes, yes. Now we can check the length of tuple using len method, right? So my details, and it should print 4 because currently we have 4 elements in our tuple, but obviously we can add another, and as you can notice we can use multiple data types. It does not restrict us like in list. Now one thing I want to show you, like I showed you something like my tuple, let's say tuple equal, we can do like open, wait, not this, open, and we can simply do something like this, and this should act as my tuple, right? I mean a tuple, right? My tuple, come on man, my tuple, right? So yeah, this is a tuple, but if we do something like this, this will not be a tuple, this will be a string. If we say something like type, and if we check type, this will be a string, right? So what we have to do if we just want a single element in our tuple, right? You can just put a comma after your first, and this will be a tuple then. Okay, very simple, and a life hack for Python. Okay, that's a tuple now. Okay, awesome. Now we can check a count of something, like let's say we have my tuple, let's use that only, my tuple equals 1 2 3 4 5, then again some weird. Okay, so now we can check count of like 2. Okay, how many times 2 has occurred? So 2 is twice. Okay, now let's check 3, and it should, I don't know, it is 4 times. Okay, so count will help you to count the duplicate element, duplicate items. Okay, and we can check index, index of 3, and this should return the first index of that duplicate. It won't give you all the index, obviously it will give you the first occurrence of that element. Okay, now okay, I told you already that we can convert list to tuple and tuple to list. So let's say we can do my list, and you can just pass list and my tuples, and this will be a list, right? That's amazing. Now what we can do, we can do slicing like we did in list, right? So we give a colon, we provide a starting point, let's say second index, and we provide a end point like, I don't know, third only. So this will give us the second one only, CSE. Okay, and this is the second index, and third is excluded, and there's one step, third, like, which is called step. And what this will do is basically, let's say this is this will start from beginning, then goes till the end, and it will give every other element, right? But if we pass it here 2, okay, this will give every second element, like first, then it will skip the other one, give second, right? So every second element it will give, and you can even provide here minus counter. This will reverse your tuple or your list. Okay, you can do that with list as well. It's very similar to list. So yeah, that's one thing. Now let's say you have your what do you say, now we can unpack, like we have a tuple with this. Okay, let's just remove this list, and yeah, do it like this. Now we have a tuple. Let's say we want to have variables, right? Unpack this in different variables, right? So what we can do, we can say name comma age comma branch comma username equals my details. Okay, and this will give, you know, according to the sequence, obviously this will give you the values in respective username, I mean variables. Okay, so yeah, name has the first one Arpan, and same way everything will work like this, and I will say username, and this should give us everything. Yeah, it's now you have to make sure that you provide same number of you know, variables here as the length of the tuple, because if you miss anything, this will give you an error like this, too many values to unpack. Okay, so now there's a way to handle it, like okay, let's say we create a new tuple. What we'll do, my tuple, oh come on, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and what I will do, I'll do I1 and then give I star I2 and then give I3. Okay, now I'll just give my tuple. Now print I1, print I3. Now what do you think will happen? Just pause and comment down below, I guess, if you want, but I'm gonna show you. So I1 will take the first element as always, I3 will take the last element, and the in between elements will be given to I2 as list. Okay, you can see the first element, which is 1, is I1, the last element, which is 6, is I3, and the in between elements are as list to I2. Now this is very helpful, I guess, in tuple, and you can use it. Now let's compare list to tuples. Now with large number of data, you might want to consider using tuples instead of list, when you don't have to, you know, mutate the data and you just want to do some calculations over it. You might consider tuples. Why? Let's check. Okay, so let's import sys. Okay, and let's do something like, I don't know, let's my list. Okay, let's declare a variable my list, and we'll do okay this, and we'll copy and paste the same for my tuple. Okay, the same, exactly same, but it will be a tuple, like so. Now what we'll do, we'll print the size of get size of, and we'll pass my list first. My list, this will be in bytes, so let's add bytes, copy and paste, and give my tuple here, and let's compare the size. Okay, so you can see that list was 216 bytes in memory and tuples was only 192 and although both of them had exactly same elements, same number of elements, and same elements, right, same data type, but still list used a lot of space and tuples did not, right? So you might want to use that. Now let's see the time thing. Okay, let's import time it, and we can pass time it dot time it not sure how it, okay, let's pass a statement and we'll just say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8. Let's do 9 also. Okay, and we want to do it, let's say number, we want to pass it, I don't know, what's this, these many times, let's say. I hope my computer doesn't crash. Okay, and we'll just convert it to list. Okay, let's see how much time does it take, does each one of them take. Okay, I really hope my computer doesn't crash here. Let's wait. Okay, I had to close the terminal and let's rerun that. Okay, so I reduced this number of zeros, by the way. So you can see the time difference, right? You can just see the time difference. Okay, you can see that yourself, right? For same number of times for executing same statement, I mean, this was just declaring a list and this was declaring a tuple, but this was done same number of times and you can see how fast the tuple one go. So now you know where you want to use a list and a tuple, and hope you liked this video. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button, click here to subscribe, and click here to watch more videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Bye.